We see a sleek sports car tearing through a neon-lit downtown and immediately associate it with high-level success. It looks like wealth. But designer logos, heavy gold watches, and exotic vehicles are highly compromised signals. Financing and credit make these items accessible to millions, meaning a person driving that car could be a billionaire, or they could simply be drowning in consumer debt. Because anyone can artificially project the appearance of wealth, the people who actually hold significant resources stopped playing this game. Competing over visible symbols is a trap. It drains middle-class bank accounts to maintain an illusion, while the actual maneuvers of the wealthy happen completely out of sight. To understand why we fall into the spending trap, you have to look thousands of years in the past. Long before cities and corporations, living alone was impossible. Every human relied entirely on a small group. If you earned the respect of the tribe, you received a share of the food and protection from predators. If you were low status, you risked isolation and starvation. Human biology has not updated. Our brains still subconsciously treat our social standing as a literal matter of life and death. Modern industries exploit this biological wiring. They take our ancient, desperate need to prove our value to the tribe and redirect it into a massive treadmill of competitive spending. All status relies on a single mechanic: scarcity. We only respect things that are intensely difficult to get. This chart shows the life cycle of a physical status symbol. An exceptionally rare item sits at the peak of value, drawing intense attention. As production increases and identical copies flood the market, its signaling power hits zero. The item becomes common. The wealthy recognize that physical objects are a losing proposition. Global production will always catch up and erase the scarcity of anything you can buy in a store. While the middle class enthusiastically acquired financed luxury goods, the ultra-rich quietly abandoned physical possessions as their primary markers of success. They moved their capital into invisible assets. These are resources that remain completely immune to mass production and public imitation. The first layer of this invisible hierarchy is access. Swiping a platinum credit card cannot get you into these restricted events, unlisted private clubs, or closed-door environments, where money alone is ignored. The second layer relies on the structure in this network map. At the bottom, thousands of nodes represent the chaotic noise of the general public. But isolated at the top, thick, direct connections represent private networks. These trusted relationships and unrecorded conversations create massive leverage. True modern power operates entirely in the shadows. It creates a fortress of exclusivity because you cannot finance a billionaire's trust or counterfeit personal introductions. Elite networks and private access are highly effective gatekeepers, but they are still just stepping stones to the absolute peak of the status ladder. The final asset that the ultra-rich desperately hoard is total autonomy over their own existence. Autonomy is absolute control over your schedule. It means answering to no one, rejecting societal obligations, and possessing the leverage to walk away from bad deals without a second of financial anxiety. Time is the rarest resource on Earth. Millions of people manage to finance a luxury lifestyle, but almost no one commands absolute control over their own 24 hours. Look closely at the visible symbols you feel pressured to acquire. Analyze your own motivations for wanting them. Buying an expensive house or an exotic car is an attempt to purchase the feeling of freedom. While the transaction involves metal and wood, the subconscious goal is independence. Stop chasing easily faked signals of success. Redirect your resources, your focus, and your daily effort toward building a life optimized for the only metric that actually holds its value: true independence.